Yep. But they're losing.
All right, you guys ready?
I'm so ready, bro. I was born for this.
How we doing?
Good, bro. How are you?
Oh yeah, man, doing
How are
great.
you?
I'm a big fan of this whole project, bro.
Thank
We're
you.
losing by 13.
Yeah, so I want to do it in here kind of informally for now because I really like the last one we did in here, how everyone was just, throwing ideas out. So I thought that was pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer some questions from this Slido website that people were upvoting and asking over the past few days. So the first one is, have you considered long-term development such as what will happen after 50K mints are completed and use case for Krill going forward? So long-term, basically we're just knocking stuff out. Like the devs are just chipping away at things. I mean, we've already released 3 or 4 contracts on top of WhalesGame. So as far as long-term, I think what they're doing is they're building stuff now, which will set us up for long-term. So I think the wrapper and the island stuff is one of those things. So yeah, they're just chipping away at it. And then the use case for Krill going forward, I mean, that's the ecosystem token. And anything that we do will use Krill.
Okay.
Exactly. All right. All right, so the next question is, are there plans to turn Krill into a more deflationary asset? And if so, what is the timeline for implementation of those plans? So yeah, that's what we're always trying to do. That's one of the biggest importance right now is just being able to offset the inflation because, as you guys know, it was getting out of hand over the last few days. So I think now that mint prices are going up, it's also helping that. But a big thing is with the islands, how we're going to make you're going to need to put up 4 fishermen in a well and 100K at least in order to get one. So that's one of the things we're doing, and then we're thinking of other ways to implement and try to get the inflation knocked off as much as possible. And the next one is, can you create a way? Can you
Can
create
someone
a
mute that guy?
way to? What was that?
I just want someone to mute that guy.
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah, thank you.
And the next one is, can you create a way to reward holders for not listing their NFT? So that's what the wrapper will be for. Yeah, basically you'll be incentivized to wrap, so there'll be a boosted reward rate for wrapping. And the next question is, let me see. Let's see, the ones are good. Will we be doing any marketing to get more diamond hands into our community? Yeah, we're always open for marketing and looking into avenues. Twitter has been huge for us. We usually get about at least 60,000 impressions, so I think that's probably the most effective form we have right now compared to trying to get YouTubers and stuff to help pump our project, which is something that we don't really want to do. We want like a nice and slow, steady rise, rather than just having influencers come in, take advantage of everything, and then just leave when they want. I've also noticed that with the gold hunt game, I've noticed that they're paused now. I know they had some influencers pushing them, and that's basically crashed. What else? The Noundles. I know Noundles were pretty popular over the last week, but it seems like that floor is back down to like 0.08 last time I saw. So it's one of those things where like you don't want to just have a quick pump and dump and then people lose. Everyone gets deflated. Those things where we have the dev power to actually build and just keep creating cool stuff that will naturally bring people in. But as far as major marketing, I think Twitter is probably the best thing we have going right now. But we're always open to doing little collaborations or anything with someone that could help bring real benefit to the community. Let me see here. So I'm hearing there will be future contracts to possibly wrap your NFTs. Can you expand upon the idea behind it and what the expected outcome is? So yeah, so the reason why we're creating the wrapper is for a few reasons. It will help us get over to Polygon, and we'll be able to just, Polygon is so cheap and so fast that everyone will actually have a chance to be doing stuff on there. Like, you don't have to worry about $100 one transaction for $100. I mean, $100 on Polygon can probably last you an eternity at this point. That's one of the reasons. And another reason why is that when SolDev made the main contract for WG, he basically made it so contracts couldn't mint NFTs. So it's basically put in place to be able to stop people from getting in early and taking up a huge portion of the supply. So in order to make the Lonely Fisherman contract work, the wrapped NFTs will be a big help for that. It'll actually allow it to work, the Lonely Fisherman contract. So that's another reason. And what is the plan to?
Can I stop you there for a sec? Would you mind?
Yeah.
Is there any thought to just taking everything that's currently on the ETH network and just mimicking it because it's so cheap? Forecast fees. Is there any reason not to do that? Is literally just port the game, the entire thing.
I think we want to do our best to stay on Ethereum like as much as possible. Like, we don't really want to take everything out, but I mean, I'm sure it's possible. I mean, Wrapper and the islands, they're basically done, so it should be out within the next few days. So I think that would be.
I guess my concern about that was you still have to pay the transaction fees on the ETH layer in order to push them into the Polygon.
Yeah, that's also true. I think. Yeah, there'll be a fee to wrap it and get it going and stuff, but yeah, I'll run that by the devs. But I'm pretty sure they want to stay, keep the core on Ethereum, just because Ethereum wants to get ETH2 and all that. Like, it's going to be extra promising, but yeah, I'll run that by them and see what they have to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, just wrapping 100 fishermen is going to cost me, friggin' at least $7,000, and I'm just frankly not.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you make a point with that, especially for the larger holders. So yeah, I'll run that by them for sure. Let's see what else we got. Someone asked, is there any way that the gather all mechanism for gathering krill could gather from all three areas, krill, stake, and compound, in a single transaction? It's possible, but the user would be required to move their assets to a contract. So, hold on one second. It's kind of not ideal in that. Let me see. Not sure who is. Noise. So yeah, going back to the single fisherman. So yeah, that's on the way. The wrapper will help with that. So that's coming. Let's see what other questions we got. Someone asked, project currently has an insider top holder that owns over 5% of the tokens, plus a large portion of the LP.
I don't know if you want to listen.
How can we address the risk of new entrants? Well, I think bringing in new people, increasing the holders, increasing the exposure that it has will definitely help that. I don't think someone who holds 5% is like is a huge red flag. I mean, if you look at like Cybercons, I think one guy holds over 10% of them, and I mean that's just a risk reward kind of thing, I mean, I could see if maybe he pre-mined or got it easy, but I mean everyone's investing in this, and everyone's putting in as much as they feel that they can afford. So I don't think that's too much of an issue. But I think as we grow and as we start building out, all these things, that'll naturally just get people to gravitate, especially as all these other games are kind of seem to be flopping at here and there. So. In what ways is the money from Mint secondary being or will be used in the project? There's been quite a few ways. I mean, personally, out of what I've made, I've probably put maybe probably about 200,000 back in, just paying everybody, and we added around I think around 50,000 in LPs, and just calling the transactions, and I've been minting at least 10 a day, or at least try to. But I know it's getting more expensive, so there's been a lot of things like that, and I know Soldev's going to be doing the liquidity for the wrapper and stuff. So there's been a lot of things. One thing that we haven't done is actually pay people to shill us. That's just one thing that I don't know. It just doesn't sit right, because I know it becomes like a one-hit wonder, and then people move on. I'd rather just people be here because they want, not because their influencer guys telling them to, and then they move on to the next project, and then everyone, it's just one of those things. Let's see what else. Timeline of cross-chain. So I mentioned that. So it should be a few days. I think that the devs are actually they've been chatting. They're actually working on that right now as we speak. Let's see. Good questions.
What's that?
Can we change compound to or add a krill staker which pays 10% entry exit fees, and those who leave latest get rewarded more without their krill value dropping? So that's kind of what the krill booster, the C krill booster does. It basically directs rewards to the people that are in the compounder. So as time passes, more and more krill rewards will be allocated towards there. Let's see some other ones. How likely is the casino feature going to be implemented into WhalesGame? I mean, it's possible. I know Soldev, he's built it. I mean, Soldev has an array of stuff that he's built before. So it's just a matter of just timing and when it should be done, and he'll do it. So yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's like not,
I know we brought that up before, and that was thrown out there by somebody, and I'm a huge supporter of that. I think that should be really looked at more, addressed faster, because it gives the risk reward that this game's kind of missing. A lot of the other games have the chance of getting stuff stolen or whatnot. The casino gives you that risk reward without having to do it. It lets you choose to do it, and that's what people want.
Yeah, I definitely
it'd be cool
agree.
if you could use the liquidity to do that, right? Because yeah, I mean, if you could have people stake in order to become the house, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I know that going to Polygon will help actually make that a reality if the time comes, and it's all a matter of just timing, like when we feel like that would be the best time to release. Yeah, it's definitely possible, and it's not something that doesn't need to be built from scratch. So yeah, Soldev has an array of everything he's built over these past 4 or 5 years that he can plug and play and wherever he sees fit. So yeah, that's something on the table, but it's not confirmed yet as of now. Let's see. This is one that gets asked. Why the dev team is not doxed yet? Well, for one, I mean, we've already had the sale, right? Like, there's really, I mean, to be frank, there's really nothing that's keeping us around at this moment. Like, work has been done as far as the sale, so it's like, well, what's keeping us around? Well, what's actually keeping us around is that we actually care, and we aren't, the type of people that just get something and take off and leave everyone, fending for themselves. So that's a big reason why we're not doxed, is because everything's been done. Now it's up to us to build and actually prove ourselves. So Yeah, that's one of the important things is that.
Yeah, can I add to that? So it's actually a benefit that you're not doxxed, just from like a legal standpoint. It means that they can build whatever the hell they want without having to report to a government.
Yeah, exactly. It's just,
Yeah, don't
you're
dox
just
them.
free reign as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I mean, we're here. Like, we're obviously still around. We plan to be around. Like I said, like we have a lot more going on, and it's one of those things to where we need to be here because what we have coming next is it's like cemented and it's ready to go. Just the finishing touches are putting on with the metaverse. So like we would be it'd be idiotic to just move on because we have a great community, we have great devs, and it's just we just every day we chip away at stuff. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. All right, let's see any other questions. So yeah, 22, your question was great about the krill for buying an island being increased, and a portion of it gets burned. A portion goes to LP, and a portion goes to staking. Yeah, I think that's definitely a no-brainer. How you mentioned the dynamically increasing. So yeah, that's something that they'll be implementing because it definitely makes the most sense.
That's exciting. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great suggestion.
Forgive me if I missed it, but I was just curious. What's the number of islands that we're looking at? Is it finite? Is it infinite?
I think they were talking about having 1,000. I don't think it's cemented yet, but I think that was a number that they were throwing out there.
Gotcha.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You guys ever think about wrapping like a DAO into all this and make the islands the membership or something like that?
That's a good idea. I mean, we could something that definitely.
I know it's complicated, but yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, the devs could make that, but it's definitely something to think about.
The solution I see there is that way we all have a buy into the DAO, and so we can all send the krill to the DAO to be traded at Uniswap, and then we have Ethereum coming directly into the DAO, as opposed to like leaking out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That's something to consider. I'll mention that to the devs. Someone said, "What's the purpose?" Oh yeah, go ahead.
I know. It's saying thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you. So yeah, someone said, "What's the purpose of the island?" So the island's just going to be a main piece in how we move on to Polygon. So the devs are working on stuff. I actually was in chat today, and someone mentioned something. It made me start thinking about another way to make the island pretty cool. And one of the things I thought of, I ran by the devs, is people that want to attack these islands have to burn, a fisherman or some krill to get a boat, and they could take the boat, go to these islands to try to get some krill from these islands or something. And I thought that was pretty cool, so I ran it by them, and it's something that's possible. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing because you can make it to where the island owners don't really have much to risk. So it made it to where be basically plus EV to own an island. Like you don't. I was thinking with some of the assets like sacrificed for an island, they could be used to seed these islands, and people can try to go and get the seed from the island, whether it be 100 krill or however many, but that at the cost of maybe them losing the fishermen to the island owner. So it could be the island owner can get a fisherman that's basically been lost due to the RNG being on their side for that one. So that's one of the ideas I had. So there's so many ideas that can happen, especially now with Polygon and the Chainlink VRF. Will actually be like provably fair. So like exploits like we see on Ethereum won't be happening, because to use Chainlink VRF on Ethereum is just insane. The price of it is just insane. So I think Soldev was telling me few link get you like 10,000 or like 10,000 calls to a transaction or something like that. So actually be fair, which is why we want to go there in the first place, so we can actually start branching out. Yeah. Feel free to let me know any questions you guys have. Still looking for a few others.
Can you unban King Kong Crypto? It looks like someone just banned him. He's been a pretty solid community member for the past few weeks. Okay, thank you, dude. Gunner's got it.
No, I don't know who banned him, but I just unbanned him then.
Awesome.
Yeah, looks like there's a few other, right? Like Lion Bear Dad. Is he muted?
I've muted a few.
Oh, okay.
Is there anyone that's muted right now that wants to talk? Just let me know, because muted a few, and I'm not sure if they were the exact one making the noise.
Will creating an island burn
For the
your
next
fishermen?
one, that would be good. So we'll plan for spaces on the next one. It'll be a little more organized. I didn't think this many people would be in here. That's pretty cool. I appreciate you guys for being around.
I love being a whale, bro.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you
I
created
know,
an
but-
awesome community here.
Oh,
man.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So regarding the island, so currently just no utility for it, right? It's just for whales to
Yeah,
spend like
the
their
guys are working on it, so we'll have an announcement once that time comes.
Hey, Waylon, I wanted
And
to
the-
ask something too.
Yeah.
So for the islands, because I don't have a whale just yet, I haven't got the lucky RNG. Are we gonna need one for the islands? Is that like a for sure thing?
You'll need to have one.
I'll look on OpenSea then.
Well, and that's the other question is like,
It's
could you
not
just
lucky
make it-
RNG.
Yeah, I know.
That's fair.
I just haven't had a chance to mint 10 is what I really mean. So in a row.
It'd be
Hey guys,
Wait,
I'm not sure if this was mentioned already, but having those fishermen and whale for the island, are those burned to claim the island, or is that still?
No, they'll actually be put into basically a few different contracts that ecosystem will use to reward other parts of the ecosystem. So they're not going to be burned. So we'll make use of it. So it'd be like another, basically just be going with different things and keeping things moving. So it's
you
actually
can't trade that back and forth.
Can you unwrap it?
I think we're trying to figure out something where you can unwrap it and actually use it for other things. But now you have to burn a token to get the island NFT. But the Desert mentioned about something about a new pathway to go to basically unburn it or something like that. I'm not sure exactly the specifics to that.
So you do have to burn it, or you don't? I kind of feel like we're right back to the beginning of the question again.
That covers the questions on here. So yeah, feel free to let me know any questions you guys have.
Are you still going to get your yield from them?
You'll be basically sacrificing them for an island.
Yeah, but will the island give a yield then?
The island won't be getting the yield from those.
Where do the islands get yield from?
Working out right now.
So I have
would
a
it be
very basic question.
So we're sacrificing the yield of those fishermen and whale, but we're not burning the fishermen and whale.
They won't be burned out of this. They won't be burned out now.
So here's the biggest question: when are these things going to be implemented? That's going to address the two main issues that we've been having this whole time, like to see things go up. When are we going to see stuff going up a little bit, like in a positive direction?
Going up as far as are you talking price or?
Well, yeah, I mean the floor should definitely be above 0.1. It's a good project, minimum 0.1, and then the
I
point should be at least worth 0.002 or 0.02, whatever. Like it should be like double something.
I agree. I think as we keep building stuff out, it's going to be one of those things to where we'll have that stuff people are looking for. Because I know all these other games some are performing well, some aren't. So I think just as we mature as a project and as we prove ourselves continually, I think that will be a big plus. Moving to Polygon will definitely help a number of things. So yeah, it's just a process that we're attacking and chipping at every day.
This is proof. I want to add on to that. I think that there's a misunderstanding with the way an inflationary system works, because we have been going up actually in a huge way the last 48 to 72 hours, really. If you ever see krill maintaining the same price over multiple days in a row, the underlying market cap of krill and of the entire project is trending up, because there's much more krill in existence than there was yesterday and much more than there was 2 days ago. And it's the exact same thing with the NFTs and the price floor. We had a 0.02025 floor, I think 3 days ago. And in that time, we've increased the supply by 3,000 to 4,000 more tokens, I think at the minimum. And the floor has almost doubled. So it's actually a significant gain over the last few days. And it actually makes it interesting, because krill can end up looking very similar to a stable coin in terms of its price action. But really the supply of it is increasing. So under the hood, the market cap is increasing. And if you translated that to a different token that didn't have an inflationary supply, what that would look like is an increase in the price. So you have to just realize that the entire structure of this project is different than what you're probably used to. And we have actually been on quite an uptrend the last few days, even while the vast majority of the market, at least from what I've been paying attention to, was really taking a big hit. And then today we finally got the turnaround in the ETH price. But I personally find the developments of the last few days to be really positive for us, because a lot of these I have multiple projects. Some of my heaviest investments, I'm down like 30% in the last few days. And this is one of the projects that we were actually trending up during that. So overall, I think it's incredibly healthy. And you really do just kind of need to recognize that if the krill price is staying the same, even though it's not where it was when we first launched, like guys, we have 20 times the supply of krill than there was like when we were first launching, and lots of minting and things were happening, but it took time for krill to get to this point. And the fact that it's more stable now means that our market cap has gone up and things are actually going really well. So I just wanted to add on to that, because I'm seeing a lot of people asking questions around price and floor, and they're just not recognizing that those things are actually going up. It's just sort of designed to not actually happen in the way that you're used to in this ecosystem.
That coupled with the fact
Amazing.
I think you explained an inflationary system perfectly. Now, the key is, and this is related to previous questions, when we were talking about the islands or, staking those things, that's why you shouldn't be receiving yield for the tokens that you put in for the island. That's we don't know what the benefit of the island is, assuming that the devs are going to make it worth it. Otherwise, no one will do it. But assuming it is worth it in some way, shape, or form, getting the tokens that you spent to get that island should be worth that gain, but they should be taken out of commission in terms of yield, which will ultimately limit the supply. And if we at the same time have the increasing market cap, that's when you're going to see the prices go up on the floor and the price of krill. In addition, holding steady an inflationary asset is great. Now we need to figure out, how do we actually limit the production of krill in a way that's fun for the community that will ultimately bring the price of krill up.
Which leads to a burn scenario, right? Which would be the most ideal scenario, and that comes back to like a casino or something fun that does that kind of function.
Agree. Yeah, definitely.
But is a casino actually deflationary unless a rake is taken? I mean, that's just a
That's
transfer
what I
of
mean.
coins
Like you
from.
would have to, yeah, you'd have to make it that way, right? So you'd have to have a payout system, and you can
I mean,
do it
and
that
that's
way.
another perfect opportunity for the DAO. You talked about getting a DAO for the islands. If there was something like a casino and some portion of it automatically went to the DAO, that could work.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a bunch of things. I know the devs are on the wrapper. Yeah, every day, like I said, every day we're chipping away. So I'm pretty excited
Yeah,
for what's
can we mute Noonan?
Does swapping krill for ETH help the price or hurt the price?
It hurts it.
Every time you sell out, it hurts it.
And then burning it helps it, right?
Yeah, in theory
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
Hey, Waylon, can I ask a question?
He said yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't hear him. I was gonna ask. I know I follow Cryo War a lot, and I know that they got listed on the KuCoin. How does a game with a token like that, kind of similar to what we're doing, how does a project like that eventually get listed on to one of those like exchanges like that?
I think it has to do with a mixture of themes, whether it's connections or volume. I think that's two of the things that the exchanges basically take into consideration. But I basically put more weight into volume. You know, that's probably the biggest factor because exchanges are making money from each trade. So I have to say
Well,
volume on that.
and that's actually a great utilization of the marketing funds is identifying like either using ads on Dex tools or something along those lines in order to kind of push some of that content and get the word out about WhalesGame token, right? The Krill token.
Mm-hmm. I have to look into that. Look into getting banners and stuff. I know Floki. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Floki, but Floki is all over that.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, dude.
So yeah,
yeah. But getting listed on these exchanges it's fairly straightforward. It just, like to your point, requires minimum criteria.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice to get on like an actual decent exchange. I know KuCoin that's a good exchange, but I know there's a bunch of random exchanges that are like they say they're ranked top 300 or something, and it's like, well, yeah, I don't really want to be on there, but getting on something like KuCoin would be really good.
So usually what they'll do is they'll ask you to integrate with their staking platforms so that their end user base can actually earn the rewards as well. And actually your model is perfect for this because you don't require people to actually stake shit. So it becomes a yield farm. And that's exactly the kind of models they already put on their platforms. So like I would 100% just reach out to these guys and say, hey, you guys want to get some free tokens, then buy our shit.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna note down about that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you wanna DM me, dude, like I can help you out with a lot of the shit. That's 22.
Okay, gotcha. And thank you for reaching out and stuff. I've been meaning to get back to you a bunch of times, but it's just like DMs are just.
Oh, you're
crazy.
running a game, dude. I got you.
I
You're doing an awesome
got you
job,
in mind,
man.
for
Keep
sure.
it up.
Thank you. I keep you in mind for sure. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? So the website on day like 2 had all these awesome metrics on it and like conversions to the different price points and then day 3 they disappeared and they haven't been back since. Could we get
Yeah,
those
so
back?
that
Is
was
it in
kind
the
of
version of the code somewhere?
It was kind of, I think Soldes made a pro version or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but we did that just to avoid any extra drama from OpenSea. I know that they don't
Oh,
they don't like people putting a dollar value to the token that's being yielded, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like rather be
that's
safe than
fair.
sorry. Yeah, I know what you mean. It
No,
went
you're
from
right.
seeing the dollar value, and then now it's just like, oh, this is how much Krill LPs are staked. But yeah, kind of one of those things where we hope people go to Dex Tools or third-party sites to see what's actually going on.
Or just make a
I would
Krill
hate
extension.
to. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I would hate for something to happen and then we get delisted because of something like that. So it's one of those
No,
things.
great play.
Thank you.
So I'll be that guy since every AMA has one. So any alpha leak info for us here of anything that you're going to be coming up with, or was I kicked out for that?
What's next? I don't think I heard your question correctly.
I said anything else other than we know the wrapping of the islands coming up. Any alpha leak info you can give us of what the island might do or something else that might be
So
wrong?
right
here?
now they're brainstorming a bunch of different ways. Because I mean, to it's be worth it for all you guys to actually get one. So yeah, we're basically just brainstorming and thinking of ways. I've mentioned some ways that we could help make the islands that much cooler. So one of those things where we're constantly thinking of ways. Coming up short term is it's the wrapper and the island. That's like the biggest thing around the corner, which I mentioned should be out within a few days. They told me so. Close.
Quick question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, for those of us, and I don't know how many, but like I have 3 fishermen. What is my play to try to get and make the most out of this, man? Like without a whale or without being able to save up enough because of the cost of minting is increasing. What is my play? Is it waiting until I get 150K krill and then put it in a compounder, or would it be to just every time I get enough to buy a fisherman, buy another one and keep it that way? I mean, what is the best play? This is my first time in one of these type of games, so I'm kind of at a loss and confused about what to do.
Yeah. So for people with a low number of fishermen, I think the best thing to do is just mint a fisherman when you can. Try to mint a well, and then I think midterm when we get the lonely fisherman backed out, it'll make it a lot easier for people to with 1, 2, 3 or whatever tokens. It'll make it a lot easier to mint. We're working on ways to like incentivize, get people minting faster than if they were just by themselves. It's kind of like a joint effort.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just keep trying to mint here and there. And yeah, the Lonely Fisherman contract, I think a lot of people will enjoy that. And that comes after we get the wrapper and the islands and stuff situated. There's a wrapper basically allows that to happen.
Okay, appreciate that, man.
A question about the islands again. So, so buying the island, actually owning it, is it just gonna be a part of this game, or is it going to transfer to the metaverse game?
I was speaking to the Metaverse devs about that. I mentioned little things here, but nothing set in stone. So it's one of those things where we'll look, we'll seek for different avenues that they could actually benefit us. But at the moment, there's nothing that's like.
So would that news come out before the island's release or after the island's release?
I think if it did come, it would come after. We want people to just be in it for WG right now.
Okay.
Is there a significant risk to minting an island or creating an island?
I mean, the risk would be, you forego 4 fishermen and 1 well and 100,000 krill. That would be like, what you give away to get. So we're gonna work on ways to like make it, where it's like a no brainer. Like Yeah, I'm definitely getting me an island or two if I can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Waylon, I don't know if you're low for anybody else, but you're coming in low for me. I don't know if maybe you stepped over for your mic or something. Just FYI.
Same.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
A little
low.
better. Still kind of low.
Better,
though.
but
Overall low.
A question about when let's just say, for instance, when minting an NFT no longer becomes feasible for a big block of the players that are in the game. Okay, so let's say it hits 400,000 krill. I mean, even the ones that can afford to spend, we think that what would happen is the floor would naturally rise because the demand for krill yield is still going to be there, specifically with the new utility coming out in the game. So let's just say everybody rushes to OpenSea, buys up whatever it can. Obviously, the floor should raise, I guess, theoretically. But what happens to those unminted NFTs? So, do you guys ever anticipate of it getting so high to where no one's going to burn their krill to mint NFTs? Just curious about if that was thought out.
I think that's definitely a possibility. At the moment, I don't think we're considering that. We're just working on just getting stuff built out to make people actually want to keep minting and want to stay in the ecosystem. But that's definitely a possibility. But I just think as we keep putting more stuff out, that it's only going to be more of a reason to mint.
If you look
and
at
just a question, don't we want that to happen anyway? I mean, floor rising, krill getting burned. I mean, that's what we want, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
I'm
what
just
I
curious
want.
because you're seeing a lot of chatter in the discords about even the smaller players. I know you guys are working on solutions to get the smaller players some action that they'll never be able to afford to mint. So I'm just not even just questioning, but just something to consider. What happens when we arrive at that point. But on a separate note, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the crypto space right now. A lot of rugs, a lot of uncertainty. I've been with you guys since the beginning of the mint, and I definitely want to say that this development team, and I know you guys have heard it all before, specifically the support from you, Ellen, and everybody else, has just been top notch. So when people come in, everybody's like, hey, when Moon, when this, when that. I mean, that's all fun and games, but I don't think people realize, or at least people that perhaps haven't been through a development project before, really understand that the team that they're working with. I mean, these guys develop by strict development protocol, and it's really something amazing to see. So thank you for that.
Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, you guys could be anywhere you want right now, and you guys are here. So to me, that's enough for me. Like I just love it, and I love to interact with you guys and get ideas growing to make this an even better project. But yeah, the on the dev side, and Soul Dev and them are just. I've said it before. They're just on a whole nother level, and that's why they've been able to put out stuff so fast. Like everything that they've put out after WhalesGame, like there wasn't even on the roadmap. It was just things that like, oh, okay, we'll put this out. Let's put this out, and it just comes bam, bam, bam. So I'm excited about it, and that's why it makes me. It's just so easy for me to be here and be enthusiastic because I'm confident in the team and I'm confident in what's coming. So yeah, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it.
So you said it's gonna be 1,000 islands, or you think so?
That was the number that was floating around, but nothing's 100% yet.
Cool. Thank you.
Did we get somewhere written down like a guide for how the compounder works for many of us? Because like I know I understand the concept, I can see it at work right now, but like the actual numbers sometimes seem a little funny, and I see questions about that a lot in the chat. Like, is there any like Whale Games 101 guide in the works or somewhere? Maybe I missed it to help new players and maybe some of us who take a little bit longer to catch on.
Yeah, so there was something that Sky Ultima wrote that I put in the fact section. So that's a good little bit on the compounder, and then we've been working with a community member. His name is Alpaca. He made us like a white paper website, which is more of like a friendlier type of website that just basically explains things, a lot easier than having to search the website and stuff like that. So we've been working to get that live. Just waiting for the devs to see how they're going to connect it and stuff. But yeah, it's a really nice explainer that really puts things into makes it so much easier to follow and the ecosystem. Because I know some of these angles can be confusing to some. So looking at that website
To kind of piggyback off that, will it include like a step-by-step guide? Because I think that will also be kind of like instrumental in bringing new players into the game. Because if you jumped in right now, I think it'd be pretty tough to figure out what the compounder is, how it works, the staking, the wrapped ETH, like all that stuff.
I second that too. And not only that, if you make a website, you could, make it aesthetically pleasing, have it fun, get a little hype build up, and then something to digest in an easy to understand fashion would be great for new players.
Hey guys, a question about utility. So there's gonna be utility on both Ethereum as well as Polygon.
I'm coming.
Currently, the utility is on Ethereum is very much minting, and it will be staking. Are you going to be adding any other utility for Krill on Ethereum?
Short term, we're basically going to put most of it on Polygon since it makes the most sense, for us and user wise, because we're just trying to save people as much money as we, possibly can, while also giving them the experience. So, I mean, I think short term, it's mainly focused on Polygon, getting people over there and actually being able to participate is one big thing. There's always stuff in the works that we're looking to expand on.
Well, and just for everyone's awareness, like putting this on Polygon, what it does is it gives everyone that's got 3 or less or 5 or less, it really boosts that is the booster. 100% the booster here, right? Like that's like the reason that you would put a bunch of money in the beginning in that those individuals are so much farther ahead is because of the ability to bypass that gas fee loss, right? So this is a huge win for those individuals.
Exactly. Like I was saying, like it's not mandatory that you guys have to go over there, but those things where it's an additional option, like if you want to get into the game further.
Hey, can I ask a question? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't know if it's working that well. I got my headset on. On a lighter, smaller note, I know you guys are busy with everything else, and I hate for this to be anything that you guys even consider doing before anything else, but I think there's a way I could do it integrated using the coin. I just think it makes sense if you guys did it, because then you guys could just, I don't know if you want to send it to a burn wallet or whatever you guys want to do, but some type of merch shop, like on a smaller scale. But I think the things you guys are doing is going to be implemented before. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to do it, but if someone wants to create a merch shop and have it use Krill, because those shirts are pretty clean, and this game is starting to get like an audience, a community around it that's pretty proud of what they're doing, right? Proud to be involved. So on a smaller scale, I mean, I think that would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I need to. I know there's a Sneaky Vampire Syndicate. They were working with this company that accepted. I think they gave away free T-shirts, but yeah, it's definitely possible. And I also agree the logo tee looks pretty cool. I think Crypto Man made the logo, and I really like the logo, so I think it does look pretty cool on a T-shirt for sure.
Cool. Thank you for answering that. I told everyone in the Discord to ask. They're like, no, you ask. I'm like, all right, damn it. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you, man. Questions right now?
Yeah, I have one. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. For those of us who don't have much experience with Polygon, like what would you recommend? Is there any advice on what we should look into, how we prepare for the cross-chain move? Like, what do we need to know if we don't have any experience?
It's just like little articles out, but super easy. I know like cross chain may sound intimidating to some, but it's one of those things where like if you can add a token to your MetaMask, then you could basically get on the Polygon, because Polygon uses Mask. Basically, at the top of MetaMask, you see Ethereum mainnet. If you were to click that, I mean, we'll have an explainer out, but if you click that, add network, and you add Polygon, and you're basically set, and all you'd have to do is just bridge over, which Polygon and a bunch of other websites offer. So it's really straightforward, being that Polygon is an Ethereum sidechain, so everything's basically the same as far as that goes. So yeah, we'll have more info, like more details on how you could use it best with our projects coming out. But yeah, those who are feeling intimidated or think that it's over their head, it's really simple. And I think that's another good thing about WhalesGame is that I feel like a lot of people here are new to be more than just a site for you, a place where we can all learn something about crypto and be more advanced for what's to come.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm helping you by being here doing this stuff.
Well, you said there's going to be a cap on the number of islands. After the number of islands, are the whales going to have any utility? Because there won't be any ability to create more islands.
I don't think I was just talking to devs right now. I don't think there's a set number of islands. I know they threw out 1,000, but that was just a number, so it could be more. But I think with Whales, I think Soldev was trying to think of ways to make Whales that much better. So he mentioned something like possibly Whales in early on other releases, or giving them priority. So that's one way that we could so far.
Cool, thanks.
Another thing, can I ask a question too?
Yeah, of
Or an
course.
idea? I think it would be also cool to like a use case maybe for the whales is that krill price that is being, I guess, taken with the 20%. Some of it, or that 20% could be fueled back into the price of the token and other things. So it would like utilize, it would just grow the whole community, I guess, a bit more. I don't know if that works so well, but I thought it would be maybe interesting.
Yeah, I have to run that by the viewers as possible. The main contracts are basically immutable, so not much can be changed as far as like the design.
Yeah, true. And that idea of the casino thing with the whales, or just having the casino even on the island to make it krill being burnt or whatever seems really cool too, and that could tie into all of that also. So yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Questions? There's a lot of you in here. Some of you have some questions.
Are you thinking about creating any community fund to spur additional utility for krill, or even on Polygon? So people creating their own smart contracts that can utilize it?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we'd be open to for sure. Anything that that can help the project and help expedite it, that definitely be something we'd be open to.
Hey, Waylon, earlier today there was a few people talking about that builders wanting to do a community project. Would you be open to setting up a channel or something to kind of facilitate those conversations here?
Yeah, definitely. Do you know who it was that was about that? Basically, if you here and you had an idea or something, DM me, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I'll DM you a few names. There were a few earlier today.
Thank you.
Yo, Waylon, what did you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today?
Breakfast. I actually woke up super early for some reason. My sleeping schedule has been just been so getting back to normalcy. So I went to this breakfast place, had a big like potato, bacon, what it was, but it was good. Had some French toast. What did I eat after? Came back, took care of some stuff. I don't remember. I'm not up to par yet. My mind is still foggy. I have. I don't even remember. I think I had some popcorn and man, yogurt and some honey bunches of oats or something. But I gotta eat dinner soon.
Yummy.
Good question though, Proof.
Is there any?
Or any of you guys want?
Hey, Willen, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, how is the team coping with all these fast changes? Are their mental health all right?
Everyone's good. Soul Dev, he's like a robot. He just goes and grows and doesn't seem to be phased by anything. So yeah, he's good. He knows how to play it. He's been doing this forever, so I think he knows how to take healthy breaks and be able to do stuff throughout his day and stuff. But as far as everyone else,
Hey, Waylon, I had a question for you too. This is Rozo here. Is is your favorite wrestler really Vince McMahon, man?
oh my, I mean, as a kid, I was like 10 years old when when WWE was peaking, and I never liked Vince McMahon. I mean, I don't think anyone liked him. I was Stone Cold or The Rock or something, but Pep, he's in here, Pep the Don. He always used the Vince gifs, so
That's funny. I always see that, so I
using
was
them.
always wondering.
And I just love him. Like, when I look back, like I should have appreciated him more because like these gifs are just like I love them. I can't go a day without posting one. So that's the answer to that. Sure, if Pep is in here. Pep's around, but I don't think he's in here. Might not even be human either. Him and Soul ever.
Hey, Waylon,
Yeah.
who's your favorite mod?
Favorite mod? Oh, you're gonna put me in that spot.
Someone asked,
Honestly,
man. I gotta throw that out there.
they're all great. To be honest with you, all of them, all the green names you see, like they've never like they've never. I don't know. They're just great. Like they're always open to helping, and a lot of them. Not expecting anything out of all this, which I was like, I'm not just gonna let you guys just do this. I mean, everyone has time and they have to be paid for their time. So yeah, I got a whale to all of them, gave them some Ethereum. So they've all been really helpful and grateful. I mean, I'm just as grateful for them as they are for me. So I think that's one of the things. They all hold sneaky vampires. They were
Well,
really
didn't want to put you on
yeah.
the spot, man. Having some fun.
No,
But
that's a great
it's been
question
great.
because it helps me show my love for them because yeah, they're all great. To be honest with you, there was days they were all putting spending hours doing the Twitter giveaways and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think without them, I don't think this would have been as big as it got.
Hey, Willen.
So yeah, if you're a mod and you're here, I thank you guys. Thank you. Crypto Lord, Ilu, I can hear Mars. So yeah, thank you guys.
Are you gonna do a collaboration with Sneaky Vampire in the future or something?
I'd be open to it. I'd be open to it for sure because I'm a big fan of the team. I've talked to the Top Check and stuff before, and we've just been chatting and stuff. And they were thinking about doing some kind of game, kind of similar to what's been going on here and all the other ones. So I told them, if you guys ever need help or anything code wise or anything, like I'm open to help because yeah, I really like that team, and I think that team is just a step above most teams as far as NFTs go. So yeah, I mean, I'd always be open to that, but as far as anything right now, I don't think there's anything at the moment.
I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I've been looking to get into this project a little bit, but I don't want to obviously buy like 5, 6, 7 fishermen. I couldn't really understand the one fisherman Was it a one fisherman bonus? What was that?
It
That
was a
thing
new
you did?
contract. Yeah, it was a new contract that the devs are working on.
And how does it work? Sorry.
It was essentially like fast pass for minting. So people with one or two or however many basically put it in there, and instead of having to wait, now I think minting's up to 105, 110,000. So instead of having to wait, I think 12, 13 days, a week, 2 weeks to mint, it'd be expedited. But basically, would just be helping people mint faster. Should help them, keep up with the game as it continues to just go to these levels that they're going to.
Okay, so if I had like one or two fishermen and I accumulated enough krill to mint another one, I would then be able to mint straight away instead of having to wait for the however long it would take normally without the booster.
Yeah, so the booster would be a contract that everyone would be able to put in. I mean, you're more than likely, or you're more than welcome to, mint outside, assuming that your fishermen weren't in the contract. Contract works is just like a group, it's just a group contract that expedites the minting process. So instead of waiting, at the moment it's 2 weeks, it'd be a little bit quicker than that.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
At the moment, I bought when it first came out, right? I've got 65,000 krill now, and I've got one guy, and you can't actually ever catch up. I've never caught up. You can't mint at all.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we're trying to think of ways, and by doing this contract, just help you guys, because we want you guys to be we want you guys to be here. We don't want you guys thinking feeling defeated that you can't keep up. So that's also another importance, is just keeping you guys here, keeping everyone with one or two, three fishermen around. We're on it. We're thinking of other ways as well.
Hey, Wellen, do you guys implement or have plans to implement a like a Twitter bot, some type of sales bot? I don't know if you guys have one. I could be wrong, but something along those lines.
Yeah, that's something we'd be open to. Let me write that down.
I was like, yeah, I'm a dev on another project. There's a guy. I mean, there's a couple people that can do it. I mean, I'm sure there's someone in this space right now that could do it. It's not too difficult, but someone that you trust that you guys know.
WesternUnion.com.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that as well. It's a good idea.
Yo, Willen, any idea on how long it'll take for the Polygon thing to happen?
I think within a few days.
Oh, that's cool.
I think most of it's done, so it just comes down to getting it going, and I think they're doing a few tests here and there. So yeah, it should be pretty soon.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Polygon thing, would we have to pay gas to transfer across, or does it just happen, or how does it work?
To bridge, you'd have to pay gas. I don't think it's sure. I think it's just it's a simple transaction. I know there's they have like the official Polygon bridge, but I've heard that other bridges are more cost friendly. So I'm pretty sure some people have other ideas of the other bridges they use. I haven't used Polygon in a while.
I think you should definitely put a tutorial for people, because I don't think many people are familiar with that process.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We'll make sure to have all the details out as we get closer.
I ditto that. I'd love a tutorial. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, because I know some people are new, and a lot of people haven't really bridged over. So I think it'd be a good learning experience, and even beyond that, just being able to actually have fun on the chain rather than spending thousands of dollars in transactions in a day or two. It's
Are you moving towards the Polygon to avoid transaction fees?
Yeah, that's one of the main things, and it allows more things to be done at this moment, at least. So the whole RNG stuff is kind of a touchy subject on Ethereum. So, I mean, there's ways around it, but it's really expensive and not really feasible. So being able to go on Polygon, will actually be able to use the Chainlink RF, which is like a verifiably random function or something. So actually prove it would be fair. So we'd be able to build stuff and actually, not have people be able to exploit it. So it's one of the main things. It just opens more doors right now. So, I mean, Ethereum is, it's rock solid as far as, things go, but there's critical issues with it right now until they work themselves out. So chains and L2s are probably the best way to go for stuff like this, especially.
Are you worried about leaving Ethereum in the like mainstream what was I going to say? Like the mainstream significance that it holds with new people coming in onto OpenSea and going to like a Polygon-based blockchain where you might not get as much volume?
So everything like the core stuff will still be on Ethereum. So like buying and selling, it's basically mainly like minting and stuff will still be on Ethereum, but the other side things that are going on that will be on Polygon for. Yeah, we don't want to leave Ethereum like altogether. I know 22 mentioned stuff like that. Just as far as like wrapping a bunch of fishermen at once might be costly. So I have to think of ways about that. But yeah, we don't really want to leave Ethereum completely because, like you said, like that's the mainstream. That's like everyone knows Ethereum is the place to be for a lot of stuff, and especially NFTs.
All right, makes sense.
Hey, Waylon, now that the data is in and it turns out AMAs are extremely bullish, are we going to be doing an AMA every day at this time? I know that you said you were getting kind of bored. There wasn't much going on in your life. So, I mean, I could see this as a way to fill that spare time you have. What do you think?
Man, honestly, that would be great to be able to have stuff to bring every day. I mean, with these devs, you and I know it's possible at this point, but I want to have these, at least once in a while. I don't want to go too long without, give you guys updates because I feel like, AMAs like this are crucial because, people get a chance, they get like an insider look into what's going on and like to be personable and, show people that
Yeah.
we're all just like each other, right? Like we're not just some team that, don't want to listen or take anything into account from, what our supporters have to say. So yeah, I like to do these every once in a while.
Well, I wanted you to know, man, because I don't know if you've been watching the chats, but we've had, while you've been throwing this AMA, we've had a 3.9 ETH krill buy, a floor sweep all across fishermen and whales, and something else was happening, right? Yeah, we just a big floor sweep and then the krill buy. So like lots of excitement while you've been talking. So
I bought a
you've been
whale.
doing
Gucci
great, man.
Nitter.
Nice. Guess
so
you were part of
happy.
it. I appreciate it. That's cool.
I
Yeah,
love my whale, bro. Whale gang.
post them.
I'm doing
Wow,
right.
you guys really did. I'm checking the sell spot. You guys really.
Look, Gucci Nitter's in there.
Let's check it out. Where's the well at? Was that you sweeping? I know you. No, that's what you do every day. You just sweep.
Nah, I only bought one, bro. I'm not that rich yet. One day.
What about you, Proof?
I picked up like under an ETH of fishermen, but someone else, they came in, I don't remember what their name was. They came in and said that they're the ones who just swept the whales. I think they picked up like 8 or 10 or something.
Crypto del
Maybe not
Sol.
quite that many. Okay.
Crypto del Sol.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him before. Is he new?
I think he's new. His wall's majority just whale game.
He was waiting for this AMA.
I don't even know if I don't even think he's in here. Is he?
He's in there.
He's ratio whales into fishermen, which is pretty good.
He has
he's
50,
hiding.
he has like 20 whales and like 7 fishermen.
Yeah.
Did I miss the AMA, did I?
It's still going on. It's been going on for about an hour so far, but I think someone's recording it here.
Yeah, but we figured out that they're super bullish, so we're going to keep it going 24/7. So you actually just joined. This will be going on forever.
Hey, I just got a quick suggestion for the person who has one fisherman and is getting kind of left behind as far as the minting cost. Something you could always do is just save up the krill that you're acquiring and sell it on the open market and buy a fisherman on the open market. I mean, they're selling for 0.04 ETH right now. I don't know how long it would take to get to that value, but that's definitely something you may be able to do.
Krill doesn't have the value. You end up paying more in gas than you do for the krill, even at 60K.
For selling it?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why I was saying we should just port the whole entire thing over to Poly. Be so much easier for everyone else.
I agree.
Proof, what's your opinion on that?
Oh man, that's like a hard no for me. But you have to understand that, like, look, Ethereum is expensive to use because Ethereum is worth using, and a lot of people try to use it. Like, it actually has really solid decentralization, and the security that that provides is valuable. And it's the reason that OpenSea has exploded. And it's the reason why NFTs are really struggling to take off on any other blockchain. Like, the security that Ethereum is providing is actually making the NFT movement possible. So at the end of the day, there isn't really another blockchain that can compete with the core offering that Ethereum has right now, nor will they be able to after it merges to 2.0. So there's like WhalesGame is on, like, this AMA is only even being run right now, and there's only this many people in here right now because it launched on Ethereum. We could have launched it on anything else, or this team could have launched it on anything else, and I might have used it because I know them, and then I know how to use all these other chains. I'm on probably 7 or 8 chains in my MetaMask at this point, and that's like half of friends that I have, in terms of the number of chains that they have on their MetaMask. So there's a lot of ways that we could have gone, and it just doesn't really make sense. So you start with ETH, you build your core collection there, you have something like a Krill utility token that you can then branch to anywhere. But what you really have to understand that going to Polygon with something like Krill or the Fisherman or Whales or Islands is not taking away from the Ethereum ecosystem side of things at all. It's literally enhancing it and think of it more like this ecosystem is a tree. Everything was planted in the Ethereum soil, the Ethereum blockchain, and branching out to Polygon is literally just that. It's an extension of what we initially placed in the soil on Ethereum. So Krill being able to go to different chains is very, very good just for Krill as a whole, which initially exists and thrives on Ethereum. I would imagine that like the liquidity pools are going to be the largest on Ethereum in terms of our Krill ETH pool. Maybe the wrapped tokens, those will have, maybe that'll actually be something that has a decent pool over on Polygon. But the reality is you do want the core of this to be on the most secure decentralized network in the world. And that's going to lay the foundation for everything we want to do from there. And one of the things I've really been thinking about today, because I'm seeing so many people feeling like this is like a competitive game between us. And I think that is completely looking at this the wrong way. I view WhalesGame as a game, but it is a group game. WhalesGame is essentially a World of Warcraft raid, and we are all on the same team doing this raid together. And if we understand that there is ways to literally move as a unit together as a community in terms of overall strategy and being very transparent and communicative about like what the optimal ways to do things are. That's what I've been personally trying to do, is just lay out for you, here is my approach. And I've gone heavy into this on behalf of, this is like a treasury fund, right? So there's really like 1,000 people that are behind the stuff that Surf is getting right now. And we're not interested in dumping. We're interested in investing in some of the most innovative projects in the crypto space, and then directly helping out, trying to directly impact them for the better. That's why I'm in this chat. I'm answering questions. I'm willing to talk like this. Like I hate that so many people miss that if we can just like put our heads together, take a deep breath, and realize that all we have to do is hold and continue to brainstorm together on ways to expand this. And we talk to our friends and we say, hey, have you seen WhalesGame? And they're like, yeah, but that's stupid. Why doesn't it have this or that? Well, let's figure out how to implement it for them so we can bring them on board. And collectively, everyone realizes that we can make something like this moon together. This is a game both on the blockchain and also off the blockchain, where it like you can benefit your position in this, your investment, by being helpful in the chat, by having a positive attitude, by trying to step in when there's people that are like clearly trying to undermine the project. That's the sort of thing that you really can't downplay how effective that can be, especially when there's hundreds or thousands of people that are thinking that way. You can genuinely create culture, like you can create a brand that can stand the test of time. And I'm telling you guys, I have been playing around with NFTs for years. I don't think I really took NFTs seriously until the beginning of this year. Well, I guess when I was first working on some like dividend ones last year, but viewing them more as a collector until this year. And I see WhalesGame as something with so much potential, like probably in the top 0.01% potential from all the projects that I've seen. A big part in that is knowing Soul Dev, knowing what an absolute stud he is, and the other core programmer that's been working on this with him, who for the most part is just like doing his thing and doesn't like really, want to be talked about too much right now, but he's just an incredible developer as well. Like to me, it's the perfect storm. The community grew to something that I think is clearly very special. I'm in a ton of Discord servers myself, and this is one that is so much fun. There's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of good vibes, and it's just the perfect environment for really, really good devs to develop in. And we have that here. So together, if everyone can just genuinely wrap their heads around what a unique position we're in, and if you look at the macro stuff where obviously we had a tough week and there was a difficult crash, but honestly, we could be mega bullish again. It seems like it might already be happening. But there's just so many positive movements for crypto as a whole, for NFTs, for NFT games. And we, within 4 weeks, probably even less, will be the most advanced NFT game in the world. Like, to me, it's really just about being patient, right? And that's not even a long time. Like I'm probably more patient than 99% of the people in here. So for me, 1 month is like absolutely nothing. And my commitment is helping out however I can during that time to just do my part. And if all of us are thinking that way, we can genuinely create something so special here. And this doesn't have to be some catastrophic like pyramid where there's this just disastrous crash. We can actually design tokenomics, create a community, create a system that has never been built before that can perpetually move yield through a system. And yeah, long rant, but I get very excited about this stuff. I literally dream and think about this stuff all the time. And we make it together, not by thinking that I'm an individual and I need to come in and like figure out how to extract as much as I can from this community. Think exactly the opposite. Think, how do I give as much as I can to this project, to this community, to these developers that in turn are going to be doing their part and giving as much as they can, and watch how we literally melt faces. Thank you.
It's proof.
That was amazing.
The chat going crazy.
Yeah, proof. You're gonna have to come over here and tell my wife why our house is up for sale. You feel comfortable doing that?
Yo, you were spinning fast right
over
there.
with. It's over.
That was
Well
crazy.
said, proof. That was very good.
All right, boys,
Very
I
good
just
dream.
remortgaged my house, refinanced.
Selling all my assets.
Can we nominate him for president and like have his own little channel on the Discord?
He's also got the voice too. His voice is
Yeah, that's what I'm
crazy.
saying.
So Twitter Spaces, right?
Yeah.
So the next one, right? We plan on doing on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, I think we definitely should.
Listen, there's enough people in this community that there's no doubt in my mind. It's just people. Some people are scared of Discord because of all the scams that's going on. There's people that literally that say it, like they don't even touch Discord. So Twitter Spaces, it's how it is. Like getting people to click over and move to another platform is a little challenging, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think Twitter Spaces will be the next play for this AMA. I'm happy to see all you guys here, man. There's a ton of people in here. So thanks for coming and listening. It's awesome.
That last rant just fired me up so much, man. Just hearing you speak your heart like that was awesome, bro. I'm just so pumped.
And the best part about this is that WhalesGame we're continually developing and figuring out ways to make that much better, but we're collaborating with is just going to shut everyone down. And you could hold me to that. I would bet all my worth on that. Like what's coming, what we're collaborating with is just it's gonna blow minds. And it's like that's not even a focal point right now for us because we want to prove ourselves with WG and continue, like I said, continually building it. So yeah, for what comes next is just that's why I'm here. That's why I'm so excited because it's so easy to be excited about something that is just a hit. So yeah, there's a lot to come, most definitely. Yeah, about the trailer, I'm currently speaking to the devs and metaverse devs and seeing how fast we can show it. I think once people see that, they're just going to be like, there's people's jaws are going to be dropped. So that's coming soon too. I funded it, so it's on the way at some point.
Hey, Waylon.
So I know you get this asked a lot, but just for the AMA people who are here, like, could you give us like even the slightest hint of what the MV or trailer would like consist of?
Well, the trailer is going to show gameplay and everything that it has to offer, all the unique.
Is there any chance that you could give us like a sneak peek of the gameplay, like without saying too much, just like a bit?
Well, I could say that I really want to respect the metaverse devs' wishes because I know they want to keep things under wraps, but they are in this Discord if helps you on your journey. I mean, there's stuff out there that can be dug up, if needed. But basically, the trailer is just going to show and highlight exactly what's coming. It's a great trailer. Crypto Man, he's in here. He made it, and he absolutely smashed it. So yeah, I'm excited. I really want it to come out like as soon as possible. So every day I'm working on them, working on the devs to just finally just let's release it. Because I know that they basically want a Wells game. They want the sentiment to be good, right? Because I want to release something to here or anywhere where people are just upset. So I noticed these past few days the community has really come together, and a lot of the floor criers as I call them, or the weak hands, paper hands. I mean, they've at the point now to where we can actually have good conversation in the Discord.
Right.
I think we're close, and the metaverse devs are taking that into account too. So yeah, I'm trying to get it out of them. I mean, I could post it right now, but I want to just run it by them. But yeah, that's coming for sure. That's inevitable. Yeah, in the meantime, we're just building up house game to show you guys. We could create fun stuff, new stuff that's innovative that no one's doing right now. So there's a lot of stuff to come, short term and long term.
I love you.
Love you too, man. Thank you for being here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. More questions? It's been an hour and a half. I think we gotta cut it short soon.
Hey, Waylon, this is Waging Bull. I want to release the speech art app, but I need you to look at your DM because I need you to sign off on something real quick.
Let me check my DM. Yeah, if you DM me and I don't get back, I'm sorry. It's just It's the DMs are basically unusable.
Well,
Like I can't even use
basically, I just need a community address, something that will be used for the demo, that will hold NFTs and it won't be emptied. Yeah.
This is the wallet. Yeah, this is the perfect one. Yeah, this is the one that I've been minting all the community stuff with. Yeah, this is the one you want to use. Perfect. Yeah, there's a ton of them. That looks pretty cool.
All right, cool. Let me update that, and then it'll be ready to go.
Perfect. This is neat. I don't know how many of you guys have saw it, but Waging Bulls, he's working on the beach where it displays all your whales and fishermen. So that's pretty cool. And the one of proofs was crazy. How many tokens on the beach now? Give us the update of the new one because there's probably like 1,000 people on your beach. That probably looks crazy.
So right now, the scene is capped at 100 items, 100 NFTs. But that's not to say that it couldn't be expanded to be more dynamic based on how many you have. It's just the first version.
Yeah, 100 looks good because so much room.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to pack in there, though. So yeah, that's good.
But so what we want to do is just release it, get some feedback on it, and then if people dig it, then we can start to go in different directions with it because we've already had a few ideas we brainstormed. But yeah, just looking for feedback before we go further, I guess.
Guys, I think it's awesome. I think that's really cool. It's just a unique way of seeing stuff. So that haven't seen it, he made the beach with all the tokens on it. Zigzag just posted something in general you can check out. So you can plug your address in and see all your guys on your beach. It's pretty cool. I think it looks great. What do you have planned next? Is that something that's under wraps still?
So, I mean, it would be cool to actually use krill to burn to decorate the scene in some way or change how it looks.
No estoy escuchando la llamada.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I love that idea. It's amazing.
¿Qué quieres comer tú, bro? Spyro está cerrado. Spyro,
Got him out of here. Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, Waging Boy. I appreciate you taking the time to make this community even better.
Oh yeah, shout out to Rabzula. He's the one that coded the website, and Slim Trash Man is here. He did some of the design. I'm useless. I just kind of help, communicate some stuff.
That's what every dev needs. Every good dev needs a good communicator. That's what I've learned. So you guys are doing great. I really like this. Just let me know whenever you want me to make the announcement because I know I was going to do it.
You can go ahead. You can make it the announcement, and I can push an update after the fact. I'll just do a quick update to the address, but it won't change anything. So that link that I sent you, you can just use that as the example. The only other note I would say is just you can enter your address or you can use an ENS domain. It supports both of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that right now. Everyone, their address in.
What's going on?
Yes. That might be a
Quick
good
question.
time to start. Yeah.
Just around potential different types of tokens. Are you thinking about any type of airdrop tokens in the future, like fish or something like that? That may come from the tokens on ETH.
That's a good question. I mean, at the moment, I don't think we are, but I think that's something that the team's capable of doing if the right time comes. So that's something to think about for sure.
Cool. Yeah, I see a lot of other projects gain in value because they see other airdrops from them. So that's just one other interesting way to do it.
That's a good point. Definitely. Yeah, I'll mention that to the team, see if they could think of anything as far as that goes.
All right, boys, sweep the floor.
Yo, I just had to
Any
say
other
that.
questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick. This is Carlos Boozer, not the real basketball player version. I just wanted to let you know I've been like taking a flyer on a lot of these games, these NFT games, and it has been a very bumpy road for most of the projects, but this one to me has been like the silver lining and the one with kind of the best performance, still working. The website I really thought was clean, works real well, good UI, and the team seems on point. The Discord is on point. So like I'm just hyped that I was able to find this one, that you guys are just killing it as a team, and like I think that this is going to be the winner of the NFT game. So congrats and just keep doing your thing.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's why we're here. Like we have the talent. You know, a lot of tokens and projects fall short because they run out of dev talent to innovate. So with Soul Dev and them, it's just one of those things where they just keep building. They could just keep putting their ideas down and making contracts out of them. So there's a lot to come, and short term, midterm, and long term, which is I'm excited about. So I said that's why it's so easy for me to be here every day and be enthusiastic about it all. So I appreciate you being here, man. I'm glad it's working out for you.
Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is the progress. Working together is the success.
Exactly.